What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be showing the swamp shack that we built for this Halloween season. As you can see, we've built a full size swamp shack for the yard this year. We have a swamp theme on the left side of our yard, and we thought this would go perfectly with that theme. I want to give a shout out to Jordan from My Flippin' Life. I remember seeing his swamp shack video a few years ago. I thought it was super cool, super awesome. And I knew I had to build one for our swamp area. So if you guys aren't subscribed to him, make sure you go subscribe. It's a super cool yard haunt. But yeah, I just want to give y'all a video showing you all the swamp shack that we built, how we built it. We're super happy with how it turned out. Like I said before, it goes super well with our swamp theme. As you can see, we have the fisherman there. I'll back up and give you a street view so you can see the whole thing here. It was a fairly simple build. Get up here a little closer and show you. It's pretty much two 2x4 frames that are screwed together with plywood on top. As you can see, it's been setting in the weather for a while, and the heat is starting to separate right here, so you can see the crease of the frames. So here's one frame, 2 foot by 4 foot, and then a frame on the bottom that is 2 foot by 4 foot, making it 8 foot wide as well as 8 foot tall. As you can see, we've added a door. Obviously, this is not a real door. We just cut out wood strips. I would say it's about 6 foot tall to create the illusion of a door. Screw those onto the plywood, put a door handle on there. That is a real door handle, even though the door does not open. We painted the inside of the door. It's a really dark brown, almost a black color to distinguish it from the regular plywood. We've also cut out a window here. As you can see, it's about 12 by 12. We've also added a curtain in there. But yeah, that's pretty much the build for the front of it. Like I said before, it's just two frames that are 2 foot by 4 foot screwed together with plywood on top. As far as the decking goes, as you can see, like I mentioned previously, the front of the shack is about 8 foot wide, but the deck here goes out to about 10 foot. As you can see, when you angle it from the side here, you can see it extends beyond the edge of the main shack. I like this because it allows us to fit more on the porch. You can see it comes down this side as well. So instead of 8 foot wide, the deck is about 10 foot wide. Doing that allows us to extend the scene more by placing more props. Makes the area feel a little bigger, makes the shack feel a little bigger than it actually is. As you can see, we placed props on both sides. So extending it out made it easier to place props in the places that we wanted. This helped us fill the scene out more and helped us create a better atmosphere out here. And the side of the deck here is actually wood from an old porch that was tore down. You can see there's about 6 inches in between each piece of wood there. Very cool decking there. I love it. It looks super cool, looks super run down. Like I said, it was from an old porch, so it had already been out in the weather for a period of time, which gave it a rundown look. Come to this side and show you this side. Same thing over here. Really old wood, looks super cool, super authentic. Some of the wood's even starting to break down, which is awesome. In terms of the side here, it's not just a flat surface going across the front. We wanted to make it semi three-dimensional, so we've added some sides here. They extend to about 4 foot. These are actually pallets that we had left over from a other project. So as you can see, they extend about 4 foot back towards the woods here, giving it a three-dimensional look. But like I said, this is just 2 pallets that are screwed together. They're the same height as the shack here, just to make it feel bigger and more filled out as you walk along the edge here. And it's also the same thing on the other side. I'll walk over here and show you. 2 more pallets on this side, giving it a three-dimensional look on this side as well. I'll back up and give you the road view so you see what I'm saying. So when you're walking from the side here, it's not just a flat piece of wood. You know, it has sides that are going angled back towards the woods. So as you're walking, it makes it look more three-dimensional, makes it look more full. I really like how that turned out. Created the frame for the roof here. We had some leftover foam that we did not use, so we just spray painted it brown and threw it on top there. I think it will be super cool because over time the weather will get to the foam that is on top of the roof, making it look more aged and more run down, which is perfect because we want this shack to look very weathered. So that will be cool over time. Something else I wanted to mention about the decking here, as you can see, the hillside this is on is angled downward, so it's not a flat surface. So we couldn't just lay this on the ground flat. So what we had to do is we had to give it a dock appearance, so it's slightly elevated off of the ground on both sides. So it really does look like a dock that you would see out in the swamp. So yeah, slightly elevated. I would say it's about 1.5 feet on that side and about 1 foot on this side, which is super cool because it looks like a dock, like I said before. And something else we thought about doing was adding a laser swamp under the dock here to create the appearance of water, which I think would look super cool, and I think it would take this scene to the next level. In terms of props, as you can see, we've completely covered this thing with random weeds and vines, leaves, Spanish moss, just anything of that nature to make it look super overgrown, to make it look like it's been out in the swamp for years and years and years, which is the idea that we're going for. As you can see, it's hanging all over the roof here. It's hanging in front of the fishermen, will look super cool. Walk all the way around. It's hanging from every side here. It's hanging from the door. It's coming in between the roof and the side there. We have Spanish moss and vines coming out of the lights, will look super cool because it creates some shadows from the lights there. We have it on the railing on both sides. It's completely covered. It's on the pallets that are down on the side here. I love how these came out. We got these weeds from Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive and they look super cool. Something else that happened is there's a random plant that's growing through the floor here. So that's super cool. That's a free prop. It goes with the scene so well, I just decided to leave it. We've scattered random pieces of wood. It kind of looks like driftwood in front of the shack. Looks super cool. I love how that looks. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the floor of the deck it was a larger size pallet. I think it's about 12 foot, maybe 10 foot. But yeah, it was super perfect because it was larger than the other pallets that we used for the side of the shack. And it allowed us to extend the porch out further. So we could fit more props on here. Looks super cool with the lights going right there as well, short circuit lights. In terms of props, we try to keep it simple but effective. We feel like you can overdo the props with too many, but you also want to have enough to really get the overall idea that you're going for. So first we have the swamp fisherman to the left here. Unfortunately, he has broken. We had him last year, he worked fine, but then we got him out this year and for some reason he stopped working. I think it's a motor issue, but he looks super cool in his theme. I'll back up and get you a shot of him. Looks super cool sitting on the porch there. He goes with this theme so well. He's super creepy. Get you a close-up shot of him. I love when he worked because his eyes would glow red. But unfortunately, he's not working. Still looks cool and creepy sitting there though. We have a old shovel behind him. Moving over to the right of the shack, we have an old tackle shop, tackle box. That is, obviously it's the fisherman's, on 2 fishing crates there with some bobbers and sinkers on top with an old minnow trap setting below it. And then we have bound corpse in the corner here. The idea behind this is that this is the fisherman's victim that he has trapped and has been tied up for a very long time, as it seems. But yeah, that's the extent of the props that we used for this scene right here. We didn't think it needed any more. I think it filled it out pretty well. We think it's very effective. The swamp fisherman alone really tells the story that we're going for, which is that this is an old dilapidated swamp shack that is out in the swamp. So obviously people know when they see him, but this is his swamp shack. There's obviously evil things going on out here. He's sitting there fishing on the dock. And then obviously he has a victim here with some various fishing equipment there. Obviously he would have fishing equipment since he is a fisherman. Something else I thought was really cool that we decided to add was some of this fish netting. As you can see, we put some on the side of the deck here on the post. Just gives it that swamp look. We also added a bobber, an old bobber, hanging off of it right there. Looks super cool, looks super swampy, which is obviously the idea for these props as well. We want things that look swampy and that fit the scene. We don't just want random props out here. So anything that was swampy and made sense was perfect for this area. But yeah, I love the fish netting. It really makes it feel like a swamp, adds to the atmosphere. Also, we've added some of that netting on the side here, side of the house, or side of the shack. I think we have added some on the other side as well. I'll see. Yeah, there's quite a bit hanging on this side as well. Looks super cool. In terms of lighting out here, obviously lighting is probably the most important aspect in terms of creating a scene and making a scene come to life and feel real. So there is a lot of lighting out here that is going on that you might not, realize at first when you're just looking at it. Lighting is very important for every scene that you're trying to do, but especially when you're trying to make a scene effective. It was super important for this theme because using the right colors with these props would make it really feel like a swamp. But in terms of lighting, we have a green floodlight that is shining up onto the shack here. As you can see, it's about, I would say, 10 feet in front of the shack, casting a green glow up to it. Looks super cool, creating cool shadows onto the fisherman. Very cool green color effects. Also, to kind of break up the light, we have added a flickering lantern beside of the fisherman, almost like he has carried it outside and he's laid it down there while he's fishing. It looks super cool. It actually looks super real when you're sitting here looking at it. Looks like a real lantern. I like little subtle lighting details like that because it breaks up the monotony of, you know, just the green floodlight. So it's shining up there, and then you look here and that kind of breaks up the lighting for a second beside of the prop that we're trying to get people's attention to. Another very important lighting step that we took was we added these old looking light fixtures. As you can see, we have weeds over them like I mentioned before. Looks super cool and super old, but yeah, these were already old when we got them. These super creepy looking light fixtures. We decided to add 2 of them to the front of the shack here. I'll back up and get you a better view. Looks super creepy, and these lights, these aren't just standard light bulbs. These are actually the short circuit lights from Spirit Halloween. They are super cool, super creepy, and super effective when you're trying to get an old rundown look, because they don't just stay on all the time. As you can see, they short circuit like the name says. Makes them seem old, and that also breaks up the monotony in the lighting. So when the green floodlight is shining, we have the lantern flickering, breaking it up there, as well as the flickering lights that cover pretty much the entire shack, breaking the light up in those places as well. Another very important and very cool effect that we added was we added a fog machine under the porch here. I love the effect that this creates. As you can see, you kind of see it hanging around here. But yeah, we hid it to the left of the porch here. You can't really see it unless you walk up here to it. And I'll show you. It's hiding right under the porch there. It pumps out fog all night, really adding to the swamp atmosphere out here. It makes the fishermen look super creepy. Pretty much shoots out to the right here. So we have it placed here. It shoots out under the porch here and covers the whole area. Looks super eerie, super swampy, like a marsh. Something else I forgot about was this alligator we've added. This is a legit 4-foot alligator. It looks super real, super cool. Fits the theme perfectly. As you can see, we have it setting in front of the shack there, like he's coming out from below it, under the dock. I love the addition of that. Like I said before, anything that can go with the swamp and makes sense, you want to place it out here to really get that effect. So there's the fog going now. As you can see, it's kind of a windy night, so it's kind of pushing it to the left here instead of to the right. But it still looks cool, looks super creepy. Another lighting aspect that I forgot to mention was we've added a green light behind the shack here. And as you can see, it's kind of creating a green glowing effect through the pallets there. It kind of creates the impression that something is going on within the house. I love the color green when we're talking about swamp themes and swamp areas. It looks, in person, it's more greener than it's looking on camera, but you can see, it kind of looks like there's a light on the house, giving the impression that something's going on. I'll walk over to this other side. It's the same thing over here. Green light. It's just one floodlight back there creating the glow for both sides. We've added I'll walk over here and show you. We've added a clear drop cloth so that the light wouldn't pierce through the pallets as much, keeping it within the back there, creating a glowing effect. Because if that drop cloth wasn't there, it would just, the light would come bursting through the pallets and it wouldn't be as effective. There goes the fog again. But yeah, I'll back up really far this time and get you a view from the other side of the road here. Like I mentioned previously, we have a swamp theme on the left side of our yard, which is this whole entire area. And I'm actually going to be doing a full breakdown of this whole area, showing you guys the in and outs of it and how we built various scenes throughout it. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. Should be a cool video. I just want to highlight this in this video. We're very happy with how the swamp shack turned out. We love the look of it. It goes super well with the swamp theme that we have. I'll give you all the angle from this side. Looks super cool and super creepy at night. I'll walk down here and give you a different angle real quick. I'll back up a little bit so you get a better picture of it. But yeah, like I said, we're super happy with how it turned out. We have built a full-size swamp shack in the yard. Definitely stepping outside of our comfort zone here. Make sure you comment below and tell us what you think about it. I actually just uploaded the full 2025 Halloween yard hunt for this year, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.